us. It's wonderful that you make the time to give us company. We thoroughly really enjoy it. So, before we start today's topic, as usual, just a very quick, um, just mention of whatever the other community services Manhattan Meditation Center offers or is offering. But before that, I think I forgot to introduce myself and say, my name is Anita, and I welcome everyone on behalf of Manhattan Meditation Center, everyone who is joining us online, and everyone who is at the center. Thank you for making the time to be with us. So besides this Thursday talks, Manhattan Meditation Center offers live meditation Monday to Friday, Power Boost meditation for 15 minutes. And we also offer workshops, meditation courses, short ones and long ones. So this is the last Thursday of month of March. So in April, we do have a workshop for you on the third Saturday. We have a 2-day meditation course, which is on April 29th and 30th. And we have a 7-day meditation course right after that, starting on May 1st. I know it's a lot to remember. You don't need to remember. All the information is available on our website. I will post the link, but I'm sure a lot of you by now remember it by heart. So we encourage you to visit our website regularly to see what goodies we have for you. Besides that, we also have started the podcast service a few months back. So you can just listen to meditations, short meditations, as well as some conversations on our podcast, even when you're walking around or jogging around or whatever else you might be doing. So you have everything, a lot of options to take the benefit of all the talks and services Manhattan Center offers. We do say record the programs, what we offer, the Thursday talks, as well as the meditations, and they are available on Manhattan Center's YouTube channel. So in case you miss out in joining when we are doing the live program, you have an access to our recordings. So that's all. Before I introduce today's topic, subtlety of true self-respect. Everyone who has been joining us for a while, you're very well aware that we are a spiritual organization. Everything we look from the lens of spirituality, and we do talk about what is your true self in a lot of in our topics, in different perspectives. And we do understand it, right? As a theory, especially when we are listening, we are in the lecture, we are listening and say, yeah, it makes sense. This body is not the true self, that being, the energy which runs. But when we have to apply it, when we are actually in action, it's a very slippery slope. And then we just get stuck and say, how do I actually do that? How do I hold that true self-respect for myself as well as for others? It's a slippery slope. I know we have been, listening and practicing it for very long time in our organization, and we still need to make sure that every day, every moment, we're still very attentive. Moment attention slips, that's it. We just miss out on it. So today's lecture is dedicated to this, just to figure out how to actually let that slippery slope not slip from our hands. So I'm going to invite Rona Schweitz to share her thoughts on this topic. Good evening. Very warm welcome, Rona.
Good evening, everyone. Just give me a moment. Good evening, everyone, and welcome also from this side. And good evening, especially those at the center also. It gives us lots of, courage and enthusiasm to see people come back in person also. But also very nice, all those who are joining on Zoom or on YouTube or Facebook from wherever you're joining. But maybe we can start with a moment of silence. And in that moment, reflect on what your thoughts are about self-respect. Thank you. When you think about self-respect, what is it that you think about?
Being true to myself.
Being true to yourself.
What came to my
Someone
mind?
here is saying to not ever chase after anything, staying centered.
What came to my mind is don't let anybody outside invade my peace.
Very good. Commitment to your values. Someone at the center is saying. Courage. Courage for what? Self-belief. Any other thoughts?
Truly valuing and honoring myself.
Truly valuing and honoring yourself. Any other thoughts? This is a topic that is quite common. Respect and self-respect. What does it mean to you? This often happens, no? There are many words we use in our language, but we not properly stop to think what it really means.
Truly respecting who I am, soul.
Truly respecting who I am, soul. Know who you really are, Urmila. Taking care of oneself.
Firstly, it's understanding what the self is.
Very good. Very good. Because this is where the little bit is. Who is this self that I am respecting or that I am supposed to be respecting? Who is this self? Anyone else? presence. Let us, there are two words no, in this word self-respect. No? And this title is a little bit enticing, the subtlety of true self-respect. But there are two aspects to this word, self and respect. Now, what does the word respect mean? Respect means to value. Respect means to care. Respect means to honor. Respect means to appreciate. Respect means to have this feeling that you want to protect it, that you want to keep it intact. Respecting, honoring, having a certain reverence, maybe even not in but discriminatory way, but you look up to some thing or someone. That feeling of respect. And then there is the word self, which is very big puzzle, isn't it? Who is this self that you are valuing, appreciating, respecting, caring for, trying to protect, believing in? Who is this self? Because if you talk about self-respect, then that has to be clear, no? Who is this self? Or sometimes we feel they are not respecting me. Why? What is going on there? Who is this self? That may be the biggest riddle in this whole area. Anyone want to say? Soul? Very good, but then still, what is soul? Who is soul? What is soul? How to describe? No, I am not saying this to make anybody feel unpleasant or anything, but this is to make us think, because we use these words and we use them very superficially, without properly having clear in our mind what it means. So we'll go over to the board. Sometimes it helps to draw and to sketch, to clarify. The board is visible.
Yes, sister, it's visible.
Okay. So when you think of self, what is it that you think of? When you say this word I, what comes on your mind? The body. Very good. Huh? The software engineering. The software engineer means the profession, the job. Okay, so when we say self, this is what for some of us comes to mind. The body, the job, family. Okay, a few more of these. You can see the board properly, no, on Zoom?
Yes, Sister Ona.
Yes.
You just need to stay in the middle. The very top and bottom probably won't cover and
Yeah,
is not getting it. Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about self-respect, this word self, what pops in our mind is the physical image, the job, the family. Huh? Now, do I respect the physical image? Care for the physical image? Yes. Value the physical image? Have a certain reverence for the physical image? Certain, what is it? what would be the word? Attitude of making it priority to look after this.
Sister Ona, the mic is kind of bit away.
Yeah, but it should pick it up. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, it's a little bit low. That's all.
This is a very, what is it, refined mic. It should pick it up, the sound. So this is clear. My job. Do I have respect for my job? Do I love my job? Sometimes. Do I honor my job? Do I care for my job? Very good. Family? Not all the time, not all of them. Not all the time. But then is the question, is this me? When we are thinking about self, this is what we were saying. Is this me? Or is this my body? Just like, what is the word? A car and a driver. No, there is the car, and the driver gets into the car, uses the car to go wherever, and at some stage gets out of the car. Does the driver become the car? Not really. So in a way, there is the being that has thoughts and feelings and memories and tendencies and qualities, you can see. And there is the body that is used by the being to express, to do things, to perform actions. So is this me or is this my body? Same with the job. Is this me or is this my job? Is this me or are these my family members? So there is a bit of a confusion in our mind about who is this self. And my job can be, what is it, hot shop job. But this is something I do. This is not who I am. There was a time when I was not. What is it? IT engineer, software engineer. And I was there, isn't it? The body. There was a time when this body was like this. You might not remember, but it was like that. There was a time when the body was like this. You most probably not remember that, but it was like that. There was a time when the body was like this, just an inch. You were there. The body was like this. And there was no hair at that time, no teeth. When the eyes were not there. You were there. There will come a time when this body, what will happen to the body? There will be wrinkles on the face, hair will turn gray, maybe the height will drop a little bit again. Body will change. You will be there, same person, but body will be different. So if I have respect and self-respect based on things that are changing, will that work? Family. Same, family or friends. They are changing all the time also. So self-respect is a very interesting word. What is it that I am respecting? What is it that I am valuing? And I can value the job and my sense of value, my sense of self-respect, if that is based on the job, then what will happen if the job is not there anymore? Self-respect gone. If my sense of self-respect, my sense of self-value is based on the body, what will happen when hair becomes gray and wrinkles start? Self-respect also gets wrinkled. If it depends on my family, what if one day they decide they do not like me so much anymore, or they don't want to be around me so much anymore, or they just move somewhere else and I hardly see them? What happens to my sense of self-respect if it is based on something outside of me, something temporary, something that is changing? If you're, this is another thing, is objects. I have to draw this now. This is an old-fashioned model. Actually, it's the new model. It will come out in 2 years. I get the newest model of Lexus. And I feel good about that. And I feel good about myself. Look at my car. I have the supermodel. You all don't have that. Can't get that. It's not available yet. And it is super expensive. If my sense of value and my sense of self-respect is based on this, what will happen? If somebody scratches it, it is parked in Fifth Avenue and you look out the window, somebody is scratching, writing big peace on it. What will happen? Will you be still peaceful? Probably not. All your peace will fly out of the window because we identify with it. We feel this is mine. So it can actually become a source of our peacelessness and insecurity. And so my respect and self-respect
Listen to her.
will go
See, she speak. Sorry.
up and down. Will go up and down. So is this the way to go? And what happens is if these things become a source of my sense of self-value and self-respect, they also become a source of my self-criticism. Because if it is not how I want the job, if one day I don't perform as I should, or one day my boss says something unpleasant, or my colleagues say, I'm more clever than you, you don't understand. Then this becomes a source of fluctuation also, because it becomes a self-criticism or being judgmental towards the self, hurting the self. So where does my self-respect stand then? Because everyone can have an off day. Not can, we do have off days. So if my sense of value is based on what I do, then when I perform well, I feel good, and when I don't, As if I'm not worth anything. Is this sensible? Can I get you a mic so that everyone can listen?
Testing, testing. I'm wondering when what we do and how we show up is in alignment with our soul, our spirit. It's almost like a catch-22 situation where it's as though the things that you do and how you show up feeds your sense of self-respect, but also your soul feeds that sense of self-respect as well. So it's like the interplay of both of those things work together, it seems. And I'm wondering, I mean, all of those things are changeable, as you said, but the sheer evidence of those things, how can one use those things to further their soul's purpose, I suppose, is what I'm thinking.
As long as our sense of value and self-value, our sense of confidence and self and belief is based on something that can fluctuate, we will always fluctuate. And we can then still use the word soul, but we will still fluctuate inside. And so that is not really maybe a good, strong foundation. Come back to this example. Say there is an artist. An artist is who he is, and he makes art. Now, one day he makes art that looks beautiful. One day you say, I don't understand what this thing is. Another day he makes something that is exceptional and gets so rewarded for it. And then after that, he doesn't produce anything that is worth valuable anymore. Now, is he worth nothing? This is what I'm trying to get at. There are things that we do, that is one thing. But there is what we are. And maybe what we are and who we are is not, defined, or should not be, or doesn't have to be defined by who we are doesn't need to be defined by what we do. If we can make that separation for ourselves inside, we will be in a very strong place. Because most of us, we judge ourselves or we give ourselves value based on what we do, based on what we produce, based on what the world sees coming from us. And that is fine, and we still can do our best, but our sense of value, our sense of respect for self shouldn't be based on that. Because there will be a time that we can't do anymore. And we are still there. We are still that person. So shouldn't we be valuable for who we are rather than what we do and what we produce? And yes, what we produce can be a manifestation of us, but there will be some times that it might not be the best. So back to this word, who is this self then? And do I value the real self? And this is where the spiritual knowledge comes in. The spiritual knowledge says, you are a spiritual being, playing a human part. Just like there is an actor and there is a part that is being acted out. And he can act out nice or not nice or have a big part or a small part. That is one thing, but the actor is separate from the part. And here also, the spiritual being who uses the body, operates the body. And this being is transcends the limitations of the body. It transcends the limitations of everything around the body. You are that being. When you say soul or being of consciousness or guest, the one who is a guest in this body, in this world, the spiritual being, you are that forever. A being with a potential, an innate potential of peace, of love, of wisdom, of power, of purity, of joy. A being who is free and independent. And you come into the body, play all these different parts, but you remain who you are, regardless of all of this. And so there is the real you is in essence pure and beautiful and great. That is always there, regardless of what job or no job. Fine. This is there. Regardless of what condition the body in or not in, or the color or the gender or whatever. Soul is the real you. And if my sense of value, my sense of self-respect is based on who we are as a spiritual being, it is not vulnerable by the changes at this level. Deeper inside, there will always be a deeper sense of contentment, a sense of, what is this word? Fearlessness. Because of who you are, not of what you have or of what you do or whom you have around you. Because that can change anytime.
So how do I make sure that self-respect doesn't become an excuse for me to not be my best? Because even when I don't do a job well, even if I don't take care of my family well, I can still say, oh, I still respect myself. Doesn't matter if I didn't do it well. Then how do I make sure that I'm giving my best? Because somewhere I'll still be content saying, oh,
I don't need to do anything and I'm okay.
Yeah. So
No, very good question. But when we are truly aware of the self as a spiritual being, and when we experience that higher nature of peace, of contentment, of bliss, there is also that other aspect of love. There is also that other aspect that from that inner contentment, we naturally want to give. Whilst when we're in that opposite mode of that ego-based functioning, I am this, I am this, I am this, then there is that mode of taking, of needing. But when there is true self-awareness and self-respect, then there is a natural attitude of giving, a natural attitude of cooperating, a natural attitude of wanting the best for everyone involved. And so your motivation to do things is not to get, but your motivation to do things is to give. And from the wish that everyone, what is it, benefits, what is beneficial for everyone. So, for example, work, you feel that you're serving, you're cooperating, you're bringing the best for society or whatever. Not I'm needing, or I'm taking, or I'm wanting, or I'm desiring. I'm not begging or desperately, what is it, trying to get or cling to something. That is an ego-based mindset where I identify myself as this is my job, and my sense of self and my sense of self-respect is based on my job. That is coming from ego. And so anything that criticizes the job or anything that may change the job, I feel as a threat. There is some level of insecurity. Then I want, I need. But if I'm coming from this space of spiritual awareness, all of this is extra. But I use it to play the game, nice game, make it nice for everyone. Understand the difference? You do not approach the job with needs or desires, but you approach the job to give, to cooperate, to collaborate, to share your skills, to give the best, so that everyone may benefit. And then that also becomes, the job itself becomes a game to manifest your talents and your skills. And does it, you see the difference? There are two models to life, just to simplify it. The general model with which we operate at present, that we have towards ourselves, towards life, is I am born at a certain moment, and I'm nothing and no one. And I have nothing to have self-respect for because they're nothing and no one. Just the little baby can't say, just say blah, 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 that's it. Huh? And this is like the model with which, general model with which you operate in society. And then you are born in a certain family, so you get a family name, you get to identify with this is my family, these are my people, this is my culture, this is my nationality, my country. So all the external things define me. That is how we grow and socialize. All the external things define me. And those external things also define my value and my sense of self and my sense of self-respect. What I get and what I can accumulate. And at a certain moment in time, that that life's journey comes to an end. And all those things that I have accumulated, all those things that I externally identified with, they will go, isn't it? So I was nothing. My value depends on what I can accumulate around me and for me and self. And at this final moment, everything falls away again. So we don't like this because it will feel like I'm nothing and no one and I'm losing everything. But this, unfortunately, is the model subconsciously and consciously with which many of us live. And so there is not a true sense of stable, solid self-respect. It is all dependent on all these external factors. And then we work extremely hard, and we sometimes exhaust ourselves to make these external factors a bit bigger. But we dread this moment because then everything is gone. The spiritual model is different. The spiritual model says, you are a spiritual being. You can see this? You are a being with divine potential. You are invisible, immortal, a soul. You are a being who comes from another dimension. You are a being with endless potential of peace, of wisdom, of creativity, a being who is free, a being who is timeless, a being whose innate potential is of happiness, giving happiness, taking happiness. That is the natural nature of who you innately are. A being who is powerful, a being who is innately loving. You know, like little children, you can little bit catch sometimes this childlike, innocent, pure nature. They are cheered by their fingers, you know. Anything is a joy, anything is a cheer for them. Even before baby. That is the spiritual perspective on self and on life. Soul, that is who you are. And then you receive, or how to get, you're entrusted with a body. And you come into this physical world and you take birth. And then this starts. And then at the end, what is there? So, with the world of the soul. So this becomes an extra experience. Nice experience. You get a body for a certain period of time. You get a pair of eyes. You can see all things, colors and whatever. You can make sound and make noise and shout and sing and talk. And you get some ears to hear all kind of things. Interesting. To play with, like toy. And there are many other toys to play with for a while. But they don't define the real you. It is an extra experience. If we can live with this attitude, then this becomes a nice journey again. And there will be deeper, solid self-respect. And then however this game goes, you will not condemn yourself or judge yourself because you know the pure, clean, beautiful, true self. And more we see ourselves like that, so will be our vision for others too. Because we will also realize that they are also this. Can't see it. What you see is the, how do you call this? The package.
Skin and flesh.
The
Yeah.
package. The package, but you have to see behind the package. And for seeing behind the package, you need a third eye. You know what is your third eye? Your eye of spiritual understanding. You know, when sometimes they say, when someone understands something, they say, I see, I understand. So it is the eye of the intellect, grasping something. So we need that third eye, that eye of understanding, to see what is behind what we can see with these eyes. And so there is this limited sense of self-respect when it is based on all these external factors. True self-respect is based on the true self, the being. And this is why a spiritual journey, a spiritual study, and the practice of meditation becomes so useful, because you're reinforcing soul awareness, soul consciousness. It doesn't mean you don't go through this. It doesn't mean there's no job or family. All of that is there. But deeper inside, the foundation for your sense of self and your sense of self-respect is not based on all these fluctuating things. And actually, you will do a better job. But because there will not be any anxiety or insecurities. Someone says, I don't like your work. It's like someone saying, I don't like the color of your car. Okay, fine. Doesn't stop me from using the car. Doesn't even stop me from liking the car. That's just your opinion. That's fine. My sense of value is not dependent on the opinion of others of the car, because the car doesn't define me. I'm giving these simplistic examples to understand the what is it, the mechanism. It's good to have questions.
So then, if someone is compatible, how can I decide that? Maybe it's not it's a separate topic, but
I can hear.
they are not.
Can you
Sister
hold
Anna,
it?
can they use mic?
It's on. It is green.
They probably need to hold it closer to their mouth.
I just put in.
Yeah, so I'm just asking that if someone gives me a feedback,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we shouldn't be seeing your face. Please sit down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
oh, I should not look. So yeah, I was just saying that if someone gives me a feedback, then how do I not dismiss it, saying that, oh, but I know that this is good, and I don't care what you think.
Oh, it is the same thing. Somebody praises or somebody criticizes. Somebody praises the car. That's nice. Somebody criticizes the car. That's nice. Somebody gives feedback and says, there are better cars. Maybe next time you should look out for them. You say, okay, fine. But you don't feel it as an attack on you. Or you don't take it as an offense or a criticism. Somebody sharing feedback, that is useful for me because maybe I didn't know. And if I knew, thank you. If I don't know, thank you also. And if their feedback is true, if you're stable in this, you will be happy. If it is not true, you will be happy. And if it is true, it is good. They're what is it? They're drawing your attention to something that you may need to pay more attention to. But you don't take it as an offense. You don't take it as an attack. Because you want to do better or best or whatever, whatever is reasonable. And you can't oversee everything. So thank you. They're naming this the example. Yeah, one moment. There are others also who have raised their hand. If somebody says you're a thief, no, so this example comes within the the spiritual knowledge. If somebody says you're a thief, if you're not a thief, so why bother? And if you are a thief, then also you should be happy they're telling you, because then you can change. So both ways, you know, this scene is useful. There are two people on Zoom. You can unmute and say. I think Sejal.
Yes. Yes, just to add to this, and this is from my experience, now when I am truly recognizing, I mean learning to recognize that I am a soul and not this body and my possessions and my work and my relationships. Actually, that recognition has helped me, and I'm seeing how much it has helped increase the quality of my work, you know, and when I'm discharging my duties, this role I'm playing, the quality is really increased actually. And I'm also seeing others as souls. So naturally, organically, the quality of whatever this is pertaining to the question which was asked. So then how do I perform, the best? It automatically you perform at your best level because you are working with higher consciousness. And my self-talk has changed a lot. Literally, the self-talk has changed a lot. So it's not that the care has decreased. No, in fact, it is increased. Care for myself, care about how I am performing discharging my responsibilities and role. So just wanted to share my experience. Thank you.
Nika?
I wanted to ask that how do I
A
maintain
bit low, this sound. We can't really hear.
much? Can you please hear me now?
We can hear now. Yes, I think.
I wanted to ask that when I realize I am a soul, I am more concerned about what karma I do or what good karma I do. I am like less bothered about my physical work. Like earlier, I was very workaholic, but now I am more spiritual. I feel like even if I spend less hours at office, but if I spend more hours in meditation, I find more peace. Sometimes I feel like I should not work much. Like I don't feel that enthusiastic at work, but I feel very enthusiastic when I do meditation. But like in this way, I'm getting one step behind in my workplace. But like in spirituality, I feel very peace in me. But like how do I be a all rounder where I work very well as I do meditation very well?
I can only speak from my own experience, and at some stage you perform actions in a meditative state of consciousness. So you don't just have to sit all day in the meditation room to meditate, which is good if you have time, and but we are also involved. No, it is an involvement where you stay emotionally free. So whilst in actions, whilst performing the duties, while working, whilst in interaction with others, you hold that soul conscious awareness and be peaceful. Of course, it needs regular reminders and practices, but the Raj Yoga as we practice it in the Brahma Kumaris is not a path of isolation or withdrawal. It is a path of fully active family life, social life, and interactions, but with an elevated consciousness. So whilst you perform karma, whilst you perform actions, but with a spiritual consciousness. That is ultimately, because that is life, no? To go sit in a room and be peaceful, that is good, that is nice, but that peace should be carried into whatever we do. And that there comes a time when you naturally want that also. So if for now you spend more time in meditation, is fine. Sometimes we need to build that foundation. But at some stage, we find more practices to hold that consciousness or to come back to that soul conscious awareness whilst you're performing actions. Playing a game. You don't have to stop playing the game. Sharon, and then there's a question here also.
Yes, I just wanted to say that to me, it's all about being attached or not being attached. It's like before, if I held the door for someone and they didn't say thank you, I would sarcastically say you're welcome, because I had an attachment to the action. So I actually took away the purity of the action. So I can come into the world and get a job, belong to a family, all of those things that are convenient and they're nice. But if I'm fortunate enough to be the child of my physical parents and they have knowledge, then I go on this journey with a greater understanding and I'm happier. But the issue from what I gather and my own experience is that for me and probably many others, we're informed by the misinformed. If you could only give me what you have, and if you don't have knowledge, true knowledge, then you can't give me that. So my understanding now is that take the knowledge, practice, practice, practice. It's like last week you told me about the other person playing the game. You made an analogy about it being a game because I was upset that they had me waiting for 2 days, all day, and they never came, they never called. And you made an analogy about no one, there not being another player in the game. And so I changed the way I was thinking about it. And so I wasn't angry anymore, and actually the counters got done today, so is me not being attached, not attached to my job. If I go to work, I need to go to work to contribute. And if I just go to work to contribute with no expectation of a thank you or appreciation or anything else, if I don't have an expectation, if I'm not attached to the action, then I'm happier. I'm happier because it doesn't matter what happens. And so I would like to be there all the time.
Excellent. No, this is, I mean, this is quite deep to practice.
Yeah.
Your joy comes from doing what is right, not from the result or from what everybody others say or not say. This is true freedom, emotional freedom. You have your values, your principles, your set of goals. You perform the action. That is your joy. It's quite a one more, and then we have to stop. Why this mic?
So this is kind of in alignment with what was just said in some capacity, but I find myself to be at a bit of a crossroads career-wise right now, where I know what my skills and talents are, but there's something that I feel I'm meant to be doing, and I don't want to waste my time doing something that's not going to be effectively getting at the root of my skills and talents and helping people in some capacity. But I find myself to become paralyzed with all the possibilities or the idea of possibility, so much so that it overwhelms me, and sometimes I'll do absolutely nothing. So I suppose the question is, how does one act in accordance with their spirit and come from a place of self-respect so that they can do the things that they're supposed to be doing?
The journey of 1,000 miles start with one step. You just start. And the goodness of what you're doing and the goodness of what you're supposed to be doing is not so much in that action, but is in the attitude that you bring to the action. And is the feelings that you bring to the action. You can clean the toilet with love. And that love and that dedication and that rhythm and that dependability, that is what will make you worthy for something else or something more or something deeper. But if we say, you said, I'm not gonna clean the toilet. If I cannot even do that with dedication, why should something else come? Understand? I'm making maybe a silly example, but I feel this is a very good example. I'm talking to myself also, no? Sitting here and giving a talk to all of you, sharing these things is nice. But if I cannot also clean the toilet, then what am I talking about? So everything in life has this aspect. It is not the action itself. It is the dedication, the attitude, the love that you bring to the action. And you increase your capacity. And then things open up. 1,000 miles you can walk, but you do the first step in the right direction. Arlene, okay, this is the last one because we're already over time. Go ahead. Okay, then maybe we should close. Let's close with some meditation. And just for everyone, if you're aware or not aware, there are daily power boost meditations on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. So there are many practices that you can follow, listen to, be inspired. And of course, there are the courses and the possibility to come here in person to chat with one of the the teachers here or to meditate here? Okay. Just step back and reflect on this deep question. Who is this real self? There is this physical dimension, and there is the body, and all the different roles that we play, and position and possessions and people. But at the center of all of that is the invisible experiencer, the soul. And we use this image of a tiny star. Being of living light. Just hold in the mind this image and this awareness. Being who is free, needs nothing to exist. Pure, living light. Innocent, playful, free. A being who belongs to another dimension, which is like an infinite expanse of silence and light. Like a golden sky beyond this physical world. Tiny star of light in this world of light and silence. And from this dimension of silence, of light, in the far, far distance is the world of matter. This planet Earth and the game of human life. But each one is eternally a being of light, whether in the dimension beyond or whether in the world of matter, in a body. Acting out the part. And to just hold this awareness and this sense of self as this divine being of light, being of peace. Om Shanti. Thank you. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Shanti.
We'll see everyone on next